All right, welcome back into Logan on a crispy winter night. It's not officially winter, but it feels like it outside, Gary. But it's wonderful inside. Great student section. You saw them behind us in that open that we just did, and it's always fun. A great environment.
You know, I've been surprised at how well the turnout's been through these early games. The fans have packed it in. They've been excited about Aggie basketball, and it's resonated with the team.
Well, and the other thing is the Aggies have given them a lot to be excited about. We talked about how they've gone over 102 games. They beat Alcorn State 101-46, beat Charlotte 103-74, and there's the head coach, Jared Calhoun, in his first season after 7 years at Youngstown State. Had back-to-back 20-win seasons there. We are underway in Westminster. The Griffins, of course, coached by Norm Parrish in his 8th season. And you have some history with him.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Parrish this is kind of a meeting of two worlds for me. He gave me my first shot at Salt Lake Community College. And, you know, I can't speak well enough about him and the chance he took on me as a kid who never played high school basketball. And he opened the door for me to even get to Utah State. So I'm so appreciative of him.
That is awesome. I always forget about that note. One of the more unique notes, his false left shot is blocked, but he gets the ball back in. That you didn't play high school basketball, and yet you were a complete stud in college. How does that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I got lucky somewhere along the line, figured some stuff out, and you know, it was guys like Coach Parrish and Stu Morrill that gave me a chance, and I just didn't want to let them down. I guess that was the motivating factor.
Well, Frank Layden used to always say you can't teach height, and you've got plenty of height and skills to go with it.
Yeah,
so,
I have a pretty good story I can share later about that.
Well, we should do that then, definitely. All right, so here we are over a minute into the game, and still no score. And they have been battling back and forth, but there has been a lid on that hoop. Here comes a three-pointer up high and in, and the Griffins are on the scoreboard thanks to Parker Christensen, young man out of Skyridge High School, locally here in Utah, out of Lehigh.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Coach Parrish before the game, and he said, you know, we haven't played against a zone this year, so he was interested to see how his players have come out. And I said, the key to any zone is to get it to the second and third side. He said, yeah, let's see if we can do that tonight.
Gadaretsky scores on the other end. So early on, it's 3-2. And there is Potter. We talked about Chase in our open as he misses. Drake Allen, one of the several UVU transfers that are on the court tonight. Utah State has one as Allen can't get the layup to go. And Westminster, they've got 3 of them. Potter, Akena, and Amakasu, who will come in later in the game. So a lot of these guys have played together for a few years. That ball goes off the hands of Simon Akena. He is one of those UVU transfers, young man out of Sweden. There's Norm.
Yeah, it's amazing. He was a fantastic coach for me and helped me to understand what Coach Moore was going to expect.
He did. You know, that's a bonus to get that from.
Yes.
To prep you for that.
Yeah.
I mean, Morrow was a great coach, but his style was one that a lot of people probably weren't ready for when they got there. Mason falls slip, takes it right to the rack, up and in. The Aggies retake the lead early on.
And the one thing I noticed about the Aggies coming out, you have to get yourself mentally up for this game. And when they're coming out missing a few layups, they're not moving quite as quick in that zone. I'm wondering if they're as locked in as they were those first 2 games.
Carson Templin, and he can't find the layup. As Templin's had a good season so far for the Aggies, averaging nearly 10 points a game and 5 rebounds. Young man out of Fairview, Texas.
Yeah, and Carson should match up well with the Griffins here. He's got the size and kind of plays the similar type of basketball, just kind of grind it out, battle it out down there.
He's a good shooter too. We're 2 games in, Gary, but he's at 82% field goals. Granted, a lot of them are right at the rim, but that's a nice way to start your season. 5-second call. The Aggie defense gets the turnover.
Those are the type of plays you want to see from the Aggies. More aggressive defensively. That shows they're starting to get locked into the game, get more focused on what their task is.
Dayton Albury's number 13. He has checked into the game as well, as Drake Allen goes to the bench. And don't forget number 4, the Aggies' leading scorer, Ian Martinez, averaging 17 points a game. He had 23 in his last game against Charlotte. And he'll get on track pretty quick in these games.
Yes. One thing I've been really impressed.
Oh, you got it. Sorry, Gary.
No, you're just fine. But one thing that the Aggies move the basketball so well. They play as a team, and that makes them very difficult to guard. Hence, 100-point games.
Yeah, perfect example there. The ball was in one corner, swung all the way around, and Martinez gets the 3. And a foul. So the Aggies have the ball with Martinez to inbound, and more substitutions as Tucker Anderson, transfer from Central Arkansas, checks into the game. Anderson, he can hit these, and he just missed out. Offensive rebound. Martinez is open. He's got another.
Yeah, if he comes out, hits those first 2 open threes, the rim just gets bigger for him as the night goes on, I'm sure.
37% three-point shooter in the first couple of games. And here come the Aggies again.
And I think one of the things for the Griffins is when you come play a school like this, you just have to step on the floor and know that you can compete. And so the one thing I can see kind of dropping their shoulders and looking at each other, they just got to band together as a team and keep playing.
Welcome back here, the Westminster Griffins, coached by Norm Parrish. You said he gave you a little advice on Stu Morrill, but talk to me about Frank Layden and the famous "you can't teach height" quote.
Oh yeah, so I didn't play high school basketball. I got home from an LDS mission in May of 2003, and I said, hey, I don't want to pay for school. What am I going to do? And so I'm like, I didn't take the ACTs because I dropped out of high school, so I had to go junior college route. So I called up Coach Parrish at Salt Lake Community College. I didn't know him, he didn't know me, and I said, hey, I want to come try out for Salt Lake Community College, and this is not the way that works. But he's like, well, where did you play high school basketball? And I said, well, I dropped out of high school, so it went downhill quick.
Right.
And it didn't go better from there, except for his last question before we hung up the phone is, well, how tall are you? And I said, hey, I'm 6'8". He said, okay, come down, we'll take a look. And the rest is history from there. But went down and had a couple good runs with the team, and they signed me to a scholarship and played a couple years there and up to Utah State.
So he knows, just like Frank Layden, you can't teach. I love that he asked you that question, and the rest is history. You end up coming here, WAC Player of the Year, just killing it for Stu Morrill. And
yeah, I'm glad he asked that question.
Yeah. Just think if he hadn't.
I know.
One moment in time. That's one of those seminal moments in your life. Well, good for you. And now here you are broadcasting. We love it.
Yeah.
And the Griffins get an easy one. The Aggies thought they had a steal, and it ends up with a Ruben Scott's layup. Young man out of Worcester State transfer.
The one thing I love about Akano is how versatile he is. You can play him. You can play him at the 4. You can play him at the 3. You can play him at the 2. You can put him pretty much anywhere on the court, and he's a threat. And he can guard outside of his position.
Templin on the tip in. And to your point, Akano, 6'5", 210-pound graduate senior. You're right. He's got enough size to be in a number of different positions. He was at Oregon State for 3 years, and Marquette for a year before that. So this is his 3rd school, but he decided to finish up his career and play for Jared Calhoun, see what he can do with the Aggies. So far, it's been pretty good, and that shot way off as Templin was harassing. And Martinez, he was hit. So it was way off for a reason.
Yeah.
And you'll see it here.
Yeah, he just is feeling it tonight. He decided to come down in that trailer position, just pull up from 3, and unfortunately, the player from Westminster just caught him on the arm.
So 3 free throws coming for Ian Martinez, an 86% free throw shooter. And this place will go incredibly quiet as he steps to the line. And connects.
Yeah, I feel like I can't talk during free throws.
Yeah,
just because it's so quiet.
Right. We're we're breaking an arena rule if we say anything. Tucker Anderson back into the game. 2 for 2. He's got one more, and more subs coming in as Drake Allen checks back in. I almost said Jordy McTavish.
I remember him.
Jordy Barnes. Jordy Barnes is much better, but he's getting set to check in as well.
Yeah. Jordy McTavish played for the University of Utah with Coach Moore. Coach Majerus.
Yeah,
Good nod.
We got to get Utah out of our head.
Yeah.
It's not a Utah broadcast.
No.
I'll be at the University of Utah for the next 2 days for high school football semifinals. 4 football broadcasts over the next 2 days. It's a lot of fun, and you'll see those here on KMYU TV locally as well as KJazz TV locally. So, but tonight our focus, of course, on Utah State. And what a great start they've had to their season. And right now, the 17-5 lead. This is the earliest they've opened up a fairly sizable lead in any of their first 2 games. You remember, Gary, the other teams kind of hung around a little bit.
Well, that's funny you say that, because I was talking to Coach Parrish about that before the game, saying, he's like, well, hopefully you come out and compete. And I'm like, hey, the teams early have hung around. So if you just stay close around, but teams have been able to do that.
Yeah, both Charlotte and Alcorn State. But, man, when the Aggies flipped the switch, it was tough. They just happened to flip it a little quicker here. But we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of basketball still to play. We're just underway here. 3-pointer on the way. And Anderson, he's got it.
The thing I love about Tucker is he comes in and he's ready to fire. He doesn't hesitate. He has that trigger, and he's a great shooter. And you need that as a coach. You want to know you have a player that's not afraid to shoot it.
Another turnover. Aggies got it. 15-point lead. Anderson wants another 3, and he was fouled on this one. So free throws coming. He struggled with his 3-point shooting early, about 14% from 3-point range in the first 2 games, but to come out and hit that first one, obviously that helps your confidence quite a bit.
Absolutely. And statistics always bear out. You can see in his form he's got a pure shot. So he just keeps shooting it. Eventually those shots will go down.
Well, he was taught well. His mom, we talked about this, Sheila, she played at Tennessee. Pretty good program under Pat Summit.
Yeah.
She won the first 2 championships in Summit's career as a player, and now her son, Tucker, playing here at Utah State after transferring from Central Arkansas. And he's just a sophomore, Gary, so he's going to be around here for a while.
Yeah. He's a great addition. He's going to bring a lot of this team. He stretches the floor. He's versatile. He can put the ball on the floor. So he creates problems on the offensive ends for teams.
Yeah, you got a 6'9" guy that can hit threes.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to do. I was up here, but threes. Coach Morrow would never let me.
Could you even imagine if you had launched a couple of those?
Yeah, well, I know Coach is sitting at home. If he's listening, he's saying, no, Gary, I let you shoot a few. Don't forget. Did you make them? I could shoot them. But we had players like J.C. Carroll.
Okay,
he let those guys shoot. I can get the rebound and put it back in the basket.
Right. Well, you made a living doing that for sure.
See, Westminster needs to move the ball side to side, get across court. If they get stuck on one side of the court, that's exactly what the zone is trying to do. So they need to move the ball from side to side.
Oh, my word, though. Sam Martin. Gary, that was deep.
Yeah. He had no choice.
Yeah, you're right. He had to get that up there. Jordy Barnes, and the ball tipped up, and it looks like it'll be free throws for Carson Templin.
Yeah, that's where Carson is so dangerous. He gets down there, battles around for boards. He's got a good nose for the ball, and he usually will come up with a few down there for you.
Templin, the sophomore, had some good minutes last year for Danny Sprinkle's team. You remember Great Ossobor last year launched up a few threes. Yeah, he didn't do it often, and he hit a couple of them.
Yeah, it wasn't what he wanted to do, but if the opportunity arises, he wasn't going to turn it down.
Well, and I think to your point earlier about Stu and you, I don't think it's really what the coach wanted him to do, but
yeah, I remember at Utah State we had to earn our license to shoot threes. So
really,
yeah, in practice you had to make 40 out of 50 to be able to shoot in a game. So I actually got my license to shoot a 3. Yeah.
You once hit 40 out of 50?
Yes, I did.
Good for you. I'll bet JC. Did JC ever hit all 50?
Oh, I didn't even ask him. He would tell me, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
How about this press? Aggies trying to create a turnover, and the shot is long. That was good defense by Tucker Anderson to get in the way of that shot. And Barnes, kick out. Another three on the way for Tucker, and he gets another one.
Yeah. And as a coach, you like to have your players come out in games like these where you got a little bit of a lead and start trying to build some confidence for the rest of the season, where they come out like the shot starts feeling good, they start to get in a rhythm, and they build up to conference play.
Yeah, good to see Tucker Anderson get a couple of threes after struggling so much earlier. And at the other end, Simon Akena out of Sweden. He gets the shorty. 27-10 our score. But the Aggies have really flexed their muscle in the early going of this game.
I'd have to ask Coach Parrish if he recruited out of Sweden or how that came about.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And Carson Templin hit a three. What? That's his first three-pointer of the season. He apparently earned his license.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
That's yeah. I don't know if Coach Calhoun's happy about that or not, because you wonder if you're like, I don't know if I want him to keep shooting that, but here's happy one went in.
I watched him going over there, and he got a couple of high fives, so for now they're perfectly happy. Aggies with a comfortable lead, but a lot of ball to play. Aggies up by 20 here in the first half, and Gary, you and I were just looking, and Carson Templin, that three-pointer he hit, only the second of his career. He only hit one last year, and we're only in game 3, so not sure if he's going to hit any more this year, but, you know, good for him. He was 1 for 5 last year. But the three-point shooting in general, Gary, 62% for this team.
Yeah, they've come out firing and locked in. That's, you know, thanks to Tucker Anderson. He came out ready to shoot, and he's knocked down a couple and given them help with that percentage.
Yeah, Anderson's got 2. Ian Martinez is 2 for 2. And Templin's got the 1. Mason Falslev. He's got a layup.
He has such great body control. His ability to penetrate, take a hit, stay strong, and continue to finish. That is an experienced play.
That might be the football player in him. He was a tough football player at Skyview. As that ball goes out of bounds and another turnover coming back to the Aggies.
I think you're right. It is the football player.
Yeah, boy, he was the player of the year, 4A player of the year they won the state football championship, and then they also won the basketball championship at Skyview. They were actually back-to-back football title holders. And he was a big part of those teams.
Yeah, I can see that.
Here he comes again. Another layup.
Yeah, he can get in the lane and create problems for teams. He's demonstrated that from last year to this, and that's just such a great asset that he has as a basketball player.
Griffin's really struggling with this zone, as you said, Gary. It is so tough on him, and here comes Falslev again. Oh, what a pass. He just threaded the needle there, but it goes out of bounds off of Drake Allen.
Yeah, he has great court awareness, his ability to see and deliver. That one just got inched away, but he made the right play.
Jordy Barnes goes to the bench along with Tucker Anderson. Aubin Gadaretsky, from Stetson University transfer. He's a young man out of Belgium. He checks in. And he is a senior, number 21. His Stetson team last year made the NCAA tournament. It's the first time ever for Stetson University going there, and he was a part of that.
Yeah. Who did they pick up in the first round? Do you remember? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but it's always tough when you're in that position.
Yeah.
The Aggies, of course, last year opened with TCU as the jumper goes for Akena, which was nice, but then they drew Purdue in the second round.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Boy, yeah. Under 10 now to play first half. Ian Martinez, can he go 3 for 3? And he does.
Yeah, when those first two fall, you're just going to continue to shoot. That's a heat check.
Ball's loose.
I love the Aggies are on the floor. They're scrapping. They're getting their hands on the basketball. They're playing this game like it should be played. They're taking it seriously and getting better because of it.
Well, right there you saw Gadaretsky get his hand in there and tip the ball away. Deflections. Not a lot of teams track deflections. In the NBA, they all do. And that's something that over the years, when the Jazz were making those runs to the finals with Stockton and Malone, they were among the best in the league at just deflections. There goes another one right there. It didn't work out in the Aggies' favor, but Drake Allen gets up and bats the ball away.
Yeah, we would track deflections in practice as well. They counted for something for us, for sure.
Trying to get your deflection license.
Right. I wouldn't have earned that.
To go along with it. Well, you probably had the blocks license.
Yeah, I mean, I was not a defensive specialist. Yeah. Let's just put it that way.
You know what, though? You did everything you need to make that team a successful
right.
one. Those were some fun years.
My contribution is I just tried to outscore the guy that I was guarding.
There you go.
We at least canceled each other out.
And that's the first missed three for Martinez in this game. But the basketball is going to stay down here. Next up for the Aggies on Monday, they have Montana as a layup for Allen, and we will broadcast that game as well. So we have all four of their first four games for you here on the Mountain West Network and on KMYU television locally.
Yeah, that play is one that a seasoned player makes. I've seen Chris Paul make that play where the defender is facing backwards to you, so you throw it off their backside and get it for yourself.
Big board for Gateretse. Here come the Aggies. And Martinez called for an offensive foul. Wow. Gary, you're going to have to take a look at this. I think it was Martinez, and although Gateretse's. Oh, it's Gateretse that got the foul. He kind of moved that hip in.
Yeah. I mean,
come on.
That's a tight call.
Yeah. Inside, got loose.
Yeah,
Mason.
Mason missed that one, but I was just that press or that zone they have working pretty tight on those perimeter players. It's looking good.
Gateretse might. Well, they're going to call traveling. I thought they might get him for a 3-second lane violation. He was in there a while, but instead it's a travel on the Aggies and another turnover back to back. But the Aggies still up 39-14, 8 minutes to play in the first half. Mountain West basketball here on the Mountain West Network and locally on KMYU television. We're back here in Logan. It's a 39-14 lead for Utah State. And Gary, the shooting continues. 60% both on field goals and three-pointers for the Aggies, and defense as well. They have 11 turnovers already. And wow, there's still 8 minutes playing in the first half. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. They came out a little sluggish. They weren't kind of locked in, missing a few layups and giving up some easy buckets, but they turned it on since then and have been able to continue to increase the lead.
And they only have 4 turnovers themselves, while they have forced 11 of those. Parker Christensen dishes and a layup for the Griffins, and they needed that.
Absolutely. They showed great patience on that offensive possession, being able to pass the ball and then find the holes in the defense and make good passes to finish it off.
Martinez, another three, and he's got another one.
This might be a night for him. Just keep feeding him the basketball. It was 4 for 5, 80% from 3 at this point.
Yep. He is feeling it, and the one he didn't make, he got hit on the arm.
Oh,
that's foul. So there you go. So foul here, and Westminster would like to be shooting, but the officials say no, we're going to take it out of bounds. Kevin Brill, Juan Corral, and Amy Bonner are officiating crew tonight. Had a chance to visit with them briefly before the game. Good crew. And despite the double team, there is another foul, and it looks like we're going to have free throws coming this time. Simon McKenna.
Yeah, it looks like the officiating has picked it up a little bit tighter now. Looks like they have a good trap. They stay straight. Official maybe got him with the body or something.
Kenna's a good free throw shooter too, 80% on the season for the young man, again out of Sweden. UVU transfer, and that one slips out. Jordy Barnes back into the game. Oh, what a move. Looked like he was going to hit the three. Instead, Nakano drives, and he'll be shooting free throws.
Yeah, he showed great patience out on the three-point line. Nice shot fake, slow move, and be able to go out, draw the contact, and pick the foul.
71% free throw shooter for the young man from Valencia, California, senior. Got it. I feel like Jared Calhoun has brought in some nice transfers this year with Gattaretsi, Drake Allen, certainly Tucker Anderson, who's just a sophomore, and then Akano and Albury, who are both seniors.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a nice job. And I was very well surprised at how well this team gelled so early on. Quickly. Yeah. But I've heard that from the players. They love playing for Coach Calhoun, who's a player's coach. He tries to understand what it's like to be a basketball player, but try to get the most out of him as well.
Well, he played for Rolly Massimino. He's got some history in the game as a coach as well, or as a player and a coach.
Yeah, and you're starting to see a lot of success with that, with players transitioning to coaches.
Yeah. Offensive foul. I mean, Jordy Barnes. Yeah, take a look. Oh my word!
Yeah, that one was.
That looked like it should have gone the other direction.
Yeah, and generally I'll look at the foul count to say, okay, because it's feeling a little lopsided. The foul count's 7-6.
Yeah,
you know they're calling it tight both ways. So as a player, you just got to kind of swallow ones like that and just move on.
Big three for Jack Janelle. He's a transfer out of Utah State Eastern. And Jared Calhoun's going to take a timeout as the Griffins go on a little bit of a run. But it's still 44-21.
Yeah, they've come out, they've kind of responded, they've stepped up. The lead could have increased, but they've shown some mental toughness, come down, hit some open shots, and got some stops on the Aggies. And I think that the fouls have probably taken the Aggies out of a little bit of a rhythm as well.
These coaches both very experienced. We've talked about Norm Parrish. Jared Calhoun's assistant include Eric Howard, who was at Northern Kentucky for 5 seasons. And Eric Brown, he was here last year, as you know. And how about Eric Daniels? Yeah. 5 years at Weber State. Donnie Daniels was his father, who coached at Utah, Gonzaga, Fullerton, a number of schools. Good friend of ours. We've known him for a long time. And yeah, it's like a nice move for Eric.
Oh, I love it. I mean, you know, I've known Eric Daniels since he was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I asked him if he remembered me. He's like, oh, of course I remember you. Running around in the Majerus's camp.
Oh, the camps.
Yeah, from Donnie. I was good friends with Jeff Judkins and his family. And so I've known Eric a long time.
Yeah, it's good to see him here. And Kano loses the ball, but gets it back. And there's the Aggie hustle. And Albury dishes, and Akano finishes. Then he just took a shoe right to the face.
He got beat up on that possession. He was on the floor. Someone landed on his head. He got up, scored the basket, and got hit in the face.
3-pointer the other way. Aggies running. Martinez nearly lost the ball, but the Aggies will keep it. Shot clock down to 15 seconds.
The Griffins are getting their hands on the basketball. They're starting to turn it over. They're turning it up defensively. You can see it.
Oh, Akano put the ball on the floor, drove to the rim. It's an N1.
When you play basketball, he's on the floor the last game. See how much more aggressive he's been in these last 2 possessions. Once you start laying your body on the floor, you get beat up a little bit. You get more locked in.
Yeah, he's definitely been involved in some physical play in this game so far as Martinez goes to the bench. Akano not able to complete the three-point play. So 48-21, we approach 5 to play here in the first half. Turnover. Nakano's got it. And he tried to dunk it.
I'm surprised there's not a foul on that one.
Carson Templin trying to post up. He comes back out. And now Jordy Barnes feeds him. And Templin up and in.
That's good, solid offense. Set a ball screen, Jordy comes off, Carson rolls, gets position on the post, and Jordy's able to find it.
Aggies hit 50. And Barnes, steal. He's got an open three, and he got it.
That was one of the plays of the game so far. I was just about to say his maturity level as a basketball player, as a freshman, is unbelievable.
And then they give up a layup at the other end, but for Jordy, that's his first three-pointer of the season. Yeah, as he was 0 for 3 coming in, and he gets that off the steal. It's funny because his first field goal of the season was in the last game, and he got that off the steal.
That's right.
If you remember.
Yeah.
Kano again, corner 3-0. I think Jordy Barnes has a really nice future here. A young man out of Olympus High School, a state champion this past season. His dad, of course, we talked about this, was a head coach at Olympus and played here. Yeah, Utah State. Never met a shot he didn't like.
Yeah, he's got a phenomenal future here. His hard-nosed basketball play fits right into the Aggie culture. I think he's going to fit in nicely from here in the next 4 years.
Every time we take a timeout, Gary, we come back and the Aggies shooting percentage has gone up even higher.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers that they're putting up right now are unbelievable. 63% field goal percentage from 2, 61% from 3-point. That's unheard of. You know, they are sharing the ball well. They're finding open players and they're making open shots. That's what you want to see.
And their turnovers up to 13. We were just talking. It's not like Westminster is just. I mean, they're 75% three-pointers, but it's only 3 or 4, small sample size. But hitting nearly half their field goals. They're just a little overmatched. It's a Division II team in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, well-coached team. But it's tough to come into a venue like this.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
This is one of the best basketball venues in the country, and the way that Aggie's been playing lately, they're an intimidating basketball team.
Carson Templin. Oh.
Yeah. Aggies are getting a little taste of their own medicine here from the defensive end.
Layup, Allen doesn't go, and the putback from Tucker Anderson was just a little bit too hard. It's turnover. Allen's got it behind the back, and Barnes with the finish.
That's unselfish basketball. I mean, when you share with your teammates, got an open layup, not quite as great a shot you want, nice pass behind the back, and Jordy's able to finish.
Layup blocked by Templin. And Templin, look at him fight.
I think Westminster's done a great job about finding the holes in the zone. So they haven't been able to convert on a few of them, but they're getting it to the right spots and getting the right shots.
Albury's layup just rolled off the rim. We approach 2 minutes to play in the first half. It's been a 55-point half for the Aggies. And Allen, he wants a three, and he's a little short, but look who's there for the rebound and the putback, and one. Carson Templin.
That's the thing. He's played enough basketball at Utah State that you can pretty much count on what you're going to get night in and night out from Carson Templin. You're going to get hard-nosed basketball. He's going to come in and get you a few rebounds. He's going to make good shots. He's going to shoot a good percentage. And he's going to give you a lot on the court.
He's now got 11, going for 12 with this free throw.
When I played, if I could put 10 points up in the first half, the game just opened up for me. Yeah. I could come out in the second half. I felt good. I felt in a much better rhythm. And so putting points like that on the board, it's a great half.
Well, if he hits his free throw, he matches his point total from the Charlotte game the other night. Saturday afternoon, actually, that we played, and he will have done that in the first half.
Yeah, and he's making most of his time. You know, with Isaac Johnson out, he's going to have to step up as a big more and more, and he's making the most of his minutes. He's proven a case for himself for more playing time.
Isaac Johnson out of American Fork High School, the Oregon transfer, not playing tonight. And Templin. I shouldn't have mentioned that. He would have been at 12 points.
Yep.
He's still got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, he could surpass it still.
That, yeah. Three-pointer up and on the way, and that's way off for Christensen. And another three, corner, and that is off as well.
Yeah, this Westminster team's just coming up with rebounds, and when you're in a zone, that's what you have to worry about. Are you going to be able to rebound out of the zone? And Utah State hasn't played sizable teams yet that are going to give them troubles on the board. So that's one thing that we're going to have to keep as the season progresses, whether that zone is going to be able to sustain them when you play bigger basketball teams.
Well, and they've done a nice job with Chase Potter. We talked about him, Gary. He's their leading scorer for Westminster at 20 a game. He hasn't scored, and he's only played 7 minutes, and he had got into a little foul trouble. And Gattaretsi has to kick it back out. And, oh, man, Albury wanted to throw it down.
You love that from your point guard.
Yeah.
Just take it to the basket and elevate like that.
Look at this.
He was almost there.
Yep. He'll be shooting free throws instead. Dayton Albury out of Queens University. Queens University, by the way, they're in town. They played University of Utah yesterday, and Utes handled them. Tonight they have to go down and play in Provo. BYU, how'd you like that road trip? If you're at Queens University, you come to Utah and you play two Big 12 teams on back-to-back nights.
Yeah, I would be. I met the coach from Charlotte. I read in the paper after he played Utah State. He just said they took the loss to Utah, then to Utah State. Yeah. He just said, "I'm just glad to get out of Utah."
Yeah. A lot of teams will do that, though. They'll come in town, and why not double dip if you can get a date with both of them?
Yeah.
Good defense again. The Aggies almost have a steal, and that almost looked like Christensen was trying to throw a lob out.
Yeah.
But nobody was there. So here we go. Oh, Martinez. He wants another three, and he's got it. And a foul underneath.
Martinez is feeling like that basket is wide open, and Gattaretzi's under there battling for the rebound.
Martinez 5 for 6 now, just on threes.
Yeah, there was a tournament last year that he went, I can't remember the exact tournament, but he went like 7 for 8, or he hit some outstanding number of threes. He definitely has it in him.
So in addition, this could be a 5-point swing with Gattaretsi getting 2 free throws here. Normally a very good free throw shooter, 83% on the season coming in.
Yeah, he's got a great touch. One thing he gets stronger on the block is he got it down there. He kind of didn't know what to do with it, even with the smaller guy guarding him.
Don't forget, he's working on that shooting spree as well, where he is now. It's up to 14 for 14. He's not missed a field goal this year.
That's amazing. You just say thank you to your teammates because they're finding you in great positions if you're putting up those numbers.
That's going back to opening night when he went 11 for 11. Gattaretsi in the post is going to draw a foul here, so free throws coming.
Yeah, I mean, on that one as a defensive player, you put your body there, and then maybe the call goes your way, it doesn't, but Gattaretsi draws one on that one.
Boston Painter at the free throw line from nearby Layton, Utah.
Bringing Carson Templin back in for the last 23. Maybe don't want to pick up another foul for Gattaretsi.
Yeah, indeed. Aggies have done a nice job of staying out of foul trouble with the exception of Mason Falslev, who's got 3. is why we haven't seen much of him.
Yeah, when he plays aggressive as he does, that's what happens.
Under 10. And Templin. Look at him work. Up and in. I told you you'd get one.
Yeah, you called it.
And that's going to do it. As Templin, what a half for him. He has 15. And Martinez, 5 of 6 3-pointers. A lot of good things happening for the Aggies right now. And they lead by a bunch. It's 65-25 here. Aggie basketball on KMYU TV locally and on the Mountain West Network. Let's head to halftime. We're back here in Logan at the Spectrum. Stu Morrill Court. Became Stu Morrill Court in a game last season. I believe you were here. All the alumni were here that night. The great Stu Morrill, Gary Wilkinson, Dave Fox were here. Gary, of course, played for Stu.
Yeah, that was a special night. I know that that meant a lot to Coach. The time that he put in here and the success that he had. There's no more deserving person to have their name on this board.
A lot of you guys came back for that game last season.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun. We dated back into the 90s, I think, with players that showed up. Yeah. Which says a lot about Coach, right? People are willing to put their lives on hold to come back and give time to. Says a lot about what the impact that he had on all of us.
Well, he's brought a lot of terrific players through. You know, I'll tell you one who's doing really well still in the NBA, Sam Merrill.
Yeah.
And he graduated. He and I have something in common. It's not basketball. We're both Bountiful grads.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Old Braves.
Yep. Now the Red Hawks. Bountiful in the semifinal. Well, they just became the Red Hawks like a couple of years ago.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's okay. I broadcasted 2 Bountiful games in the playoffs last year, and my statisticians kept track, and I inadvertently called them the Braves 11 times over 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
But when you went there,
right. That's the name.
It's a lot. And they're back in the semifinals again, for those of you watching locally. And they'll play Friday at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Right now, the focus is on basketball, and it's been all Aggies, although the Griffins come out and score the first basket of the second half. But they're trailing by 38 points.
Yeah, they came out, played aggressive, ran downhill, came up with an offensive rebound. Shows that they're not feeling like they're out of it.
Falslev, Kataretsi, easy layup for the big guy.
Continuing his streak. What's that, 15 in a row now that he's made?
He was 1 for 1 or in this game, 13 for 13 coming in. So now you're 15 for 15. And that ball goes over and back. So another turnover, and the Aggies will have it. A couple things we're keeping an eye on is Ian Martinez in his 3-point shooting. Gary's got 18 points, 5 of 6 from 3-point range.
We'll see this same play from the Aggies again. Mason coming off this, being able to attack, find that one. They moved the ball so there's no ball screen, but
Mason for 3.
Offensive set that they like to come out of.
And that's his first 3-pointer of the season.
I bet that will feel good for him to get that going.
Yeah. He'd only shot 2 of them. He was 0 for 2 coming in. But yeah, as you pointed out, it feels so good to get the first one. And that ball just came off the hands of McKenna, and another turnover to the Aggies. And Martinez, can he keep it alive? He does. Oh my goodness.
I think there isn't a game that goes by where I don't ask myself, what's the Aggie record for this? We've had the shots in a row. We had that streak against Alcorn State where we had 34 points.
Yes.
Yeah, unanswered points. Now Martinez got these many threes.
Well, he's 6 of 7 at this point. I'm guessing JC had quite a few nights like that. Great fast break, and Akano with the finish.
That was a fantastic pass. I mean, talk about threading the needle. Did he play quarterback in high school, or was it?
He played some quarterback, but primarily tight end in their championship year.
That was a fantastic.
That's how talented he was. Yes, he can sling it. There's no doubt about that. 3-pointer up, and that one goes for Tommy Ball. Transfer from Idaho State. That's his first 3-pointer this season.
It's a game of first for a lot of players.
Oh, again, Martinez, and he finally missed. That's his second miss on the night, but I mean, overall, 6 of 8, still really, really good.
fantastic. I think that we're not even 5 minutes into this half, and that'd be a game for anybody.
Right. That's going to be an N1. Parker Christensen out of Sky Ridge High School locally, Lehigh, Utah. And how about this substitution set for Jared Calhoun? All 5 guys, just like hockey. 5 in, 5 out.
Yeah, that's what he did against Alcorn State. We commented on the interesting substitution style, but he's just liking to get different players in and get different looks.
Braden Housley checks into the game. Another young man out of Lehigh, Utah. He joins Templin, Albury, Jordy Barnes, and Tucker Anderson.
Yeah, they got a pretty deep bench. They can go a bunch of different directions with this team.
Barnes deep 3, and he got it.
Yeah, if that shot starts falling for him consistently, that adds a complete different dynamic to his game.
Well, he's gone from not having a 3 yet this season to 2 of them in this game.
Well, that's where the confidence starts.
And Albury draws the foul.
Aggies are shooting great from the 3-point, but I think the thing to keep in mind is they continually put pressure on the basket. They're continually attacking the basket, so the ball is going from the paint outside, which percentages show that that's a better shot to shoot.
Yeah, the Aggies have been executing what you just described perfectly. Anderson is wide open. Can he hit a 3? Just bounces out.
Well, that was a well-designed play by Coach Calhoun to get Tucker a wide open 3.
3-pointer way short at the other end, and now Housley's got it, and he throws the lob to Anderson, and he's still fighting for the ball. Look at Anderson, he comes up with it, and then there's a foul, it appears. And the Aggies will keep it. So we're just a few minutes into the second half here, and the Aggies have already hit 78. Aggies still shooting the basketball lights out, 60% right now, both on their overall field goals and 3-pointers. And actually in the second half, overall field goals gone up 62%, so it's getting even better.
I mean, shooting that percentage in any game is difficult.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what, the level the two teams, competition are. It's not easy to do that. Lob to Templin, and Templin is fouled. So free throws coming for Carson.
Now he ends up getting hit quite a bit, but Albury finds him on this lob. He's able to get the shot off, but took one in the body on the way up.
Oh, and he just rims out the first one. He was 2 for 3 in the first half on free throws.
Yeah, that was the one thing that was frustrating me as a player, is leaving points at the line.
Yeah, when no one's guarding you, right? Yeah, but on the previous play, you probably would have just dunked it.
Dunked it or gave it a real hearty layup,
79-35, approaching 15 to play here. Templin defending the post, and he gets the block shot. Jordy Barnes for 3.
Gets his own rebound.
How about that? Oh, what a move. Barnes crossover.
The ball here is just sticking to one side of the court. Doesn't lead to good rhythm or good open shots. The Aggies need to move the ball around.
And you preach that a lot. You get stuck on one side. So a scoreless possession there. McKenna, smooth shot goes up and in.
Yeah, he's got a nice game. He's a very versatile player. He's got a good release on his shot. He's played well tonight.
One of 3 UVU transfers on this team, along with Chase Potter and Peter Amakasu.
Carson felt confident from last half. He's letting them fly now.
That might, after that miss, shut it down for a little bit. See how it goes. But hey, he's still 50%.
Right. That's the argument you make to coach.
Exactly. 50% on the season. This Coach Jared Calhoun.
Yeah, we don't worry about the makes and misses, just the percentages.
Yeah, exactly. Coach Calhoun also coming out of that Bob Huggins coaching tree as well. He was a graduate assistant.
Yeah, that's a great pedigree.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And of course, I mentioned he played for Rolly Massimino.
Yeah. So he knows what hard-nosed coaching looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good coaching, at least. The one thing about this Utah State crowd is it doesn't matter who they're playing, they have the same chance.
Oh, yeah. And the guys who you might pick up some of it on our microphones here, they are ruthless. That's what makes this building so tough. Parker Christensen hits there. Braden Housley getting some nice minutes. Jared Calhoun let some of his bench players with this huge lead playing a little bit more. And Anderson for 3 again. He's a little off balance on that. Gave it a whirl.
Yeah, the Aggies are kind of just dancing out on the perimeter with the basketball and just passing around, not really penetrating, not really looking for anything in this last few possessions.
4 subs in, Gary, including Isaac Davis, the freshman out of Idaho Falls, 6'8", 240-pounder, seeing his first minutes tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited for the future of Isaac Davis. As he's a freshman, gets some of this playing time, gets some experience under his belt. I think he has a bright future in basketball.
And Ian Martinez has the ball stripped away. And here come the Griffins. Christensen, little teardrop, goes up and in. You got Skyridge players opposing each other. Braden Housley and Parker Christensen each played at Skyridge High School here in Utah.
Well, he's put up 2 back-to-back buckets on 2 possessions.
And quickly Akano comes right back. And for Akano, 12 points. Ian Martinez, the leading scorer in this game with 21. He's coming off that 23-point effort against Charlotte on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, the basket's been wide open for him all night. He's been taking those open shots, and I think he should continue to do so.
These 2 teams have only played once before, and it was just 2 years ago. The Aggies won that game 106-68. Let's keep an eye on that. This score might be pretty close to that. 3-pointer Ball with the ball, and he nails it. Tommy Ball.
Yeah, Westminster's starting to feel a little bit more confident, more aggressive.
How about that? He slips, he slides, he's got nowhere to go, and he softly puts it up and in.
And that's what I'm talking about, that frame of his. He can create some distance between him and the defender, put a little shoulder into him, and create some nice open shot for himself.
As you mentioned, very versatile player. 6'5", 210-pound graduate. Been around, very experienced. Oregon State for 3 years, Marquette, and layup, and they're going to say that is offensive on Drake Allen. He does not like that one bit.
Yeah, it looked like the defender wasn't set, but yeah, I don't know if I'd argue that one.
Yeah, probably not. I think Amy Bonner might have made the right call on that one. It's a healthy lead. Aggie basketball here on KMYU locally and the Mountain West Network. Back here in Logan and Gary, the Aggies getting down into that mortal realm where they're just hitting 50% on their field goals and 33% on their three-pointers. That's just for the second half. For the game, they're still up around 60, but kind of cooled off a little bit here.
Yeah, I think with the new rotation patterns and new players coming in, it probably would equate to a few adjustments in the field goal percentage.
Yeah, absolutely, and it has. And there's a tripping call on Drake Allen. And Drake picking up his third.
That's what I like to see too. You knock the player down, you're willing to go out and help him up. Aggie showed some good sportsmanship.
Right. Oh, that ball was deflected by Allen. How about this? The lob! The freshman delivers. There's your guy. You were talking about him. He's an athletic one.
Yeah, he's got the size and athleticism to do some good things for Utah State.
Heck of a pass by Braden Housley to put it right where Isaac Davis could throw it down. Oh, that good looking baseline shot almost went in for Painter. That was a heck of a job to just catch that ball as it was skipped to Akano, and then he hits the three.
Yeah, that's catching it down below your knees and be able to come up and knock it down. That's a tough shot.
88-44. They're looking for more. Housley.
Yeah, loving to see how aggressive he's been coming out here. He's passed up on a few shots that I thought he should take, but he'll take his first points off a nice turnover he created.
46-point lead, 2 off their biggest lead of the game, which was 48. Another missed shot. Aggies have it. Martinez, corner three. Allen, he's got a three. And Allen turns and looks at the crowd like, oh man, I needed that.
Yeah, like I've been waiting for one of those to go down.
It's his first 3 of the game, but coming into this one, he had 2 3-pointers on the season.
And the way the Aggies move in this zone and how committed they are to it, it's really fun to watch.
As Avila hits, but you're right, they have to work for every opponent's been that way, whether it's Alcorn State or Charlotte, they've all had to work for whatever they could get.
Yeah.
Ooh, that ball deflected, but Martinez runs it down. 5 seconds on the clock, and he pops a 3. Oh my goodness, the Aggies are feeling it again.
Yeah, Martinez is so fun to watch because every game he comes with some different dynamic. He's just unbelievably athletic, so he can make plays and throw it down like against Charlotte. He's got a beautiful stroke, so he can hit it from long range. He's a fun player to watch.
Martinez now with 24 points and another lob. And big Isaac Davis finishes with a reverse. And Martinez now with a season high, Gary, matching eclipsing the 23 he had against Charlotte by a point. He's got 24 now and 7 threes. That is phenomenal. Aggies just rolling. They're 2 points away from hitting the century mark for the 3rd game in a row. Well, we got season highs for both Ian Martinez with 24 and Dexter Akano with 17. And in fact, Templin with 14. So 3 players, Gary, have season highs in this game, and they just continue to shoot for the game. They're 61%, 55 from threes. And as you said, it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you could shoot at a clip like that, you're feeling it.
Yes, and I think
a game like this where you have players stepping up, putting up big numbers, it's a confidence builder. When they go into practice for the week, they're shooting with a little bit more confidence, they're playing with a little more confidence, and the more guys you can get in that space, the more effective you're going to be throughout the season.
First free throw up and again for Parker Christensen. The Aggies, after our broadcast Monday against Montana, they're going to head to Kansas City as they get the offensive rebound. Oh, coaches hate that off free throw. But now a turnover, it'll stay here. But they head to Kansas City and they're going to play Iowa. So they'll find out just how much this preseason schedule got them ready for that.
That's right.
If I were them, I'd get there a little earlier, stick around and see if the Chiefs are playing.
Yeah. Hey, I'd never complain about watching an NFL game in college.
Yeah. Turnover. And at the other end, Allen.
These Aggies, defensively, we talked about deflections earlier, coming up with the basketball, taking teams out of the rhythm, and then it leads to offense like that. Deflection, turnover, slam dunk.
Yeah, and Albury made a great pass to Allen as well, who finished it off. Anderson, in and out. Tucker Anderson.
And that's what makes the Aggies so hard to guard, is because they roll that guy to the basket. You have to help in on the weak side, and you got a shooter like Tucker Anderson.
Another turnover. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Barnes tried to throw it off the glass to Isaac Davis, but there was a defender underneath him, and he's up and shaking it off. But that was rough.
Yeah. He's up walking around.
Yeah, that's good news.
Okay.
Yeah, thank goodness. I'm sure Jordy would have felt bad about that.
Yeah, but that would have been one of those plays where you would have been out of your seat, would have blown the roof off this place.
I'm surprised there wasn't a foul on that. It kind of got undercut. And you actually see Parker Christensen come over to him and tell him, hey, you all right? And Davis is going to go to the bench, and rightly so. They probably need to look at that back.
Yeah. No reason to take any chances right now.
Yeah. One of the best looking misses you'll see in a while, though. So Carson Templin will replace him as Anderson tries to feed Templin, but out of bounds. It'll stay Aggie basketball.
Yeah. And the one thing about the Aggies is to make the right pass is one thing, but you have to deliver it on time. And they're seeing the play before it develops to make the pass on time. So Tucker made the right pass, just got deflected.
Oh, see, now Falstaff is trying to hit Albury, and right as he threw it, Albury made a cut.
Yep.
And just a little off timing there. That's something they'll get used to.
Absolutely. One thing I can see with Mason, though, is you start to be vocal out there as a leader.
Yeah.
He's telling players where they need to be and how they need to be. That's a good sign.
And a foul as Christensen will shoot free throws. And so the Aggies hit 100 points, I would say, at least 4 minutes earlier they did in either of their last two games.
Yeah,
we're at the, under 7 they hit it tonight. So 3 games, 3 times going over 100.
Yeah, I don't know how frequently that's happened. But once again, how often does that happen in Aggie history?
Especially to start the season.
Right.
It's very rare.
Well, Christensen's done a nice job for the Griffins. He's put a lot of pressure coming up with some drawn fouls and putting points on the board for them in the second half.
Falslav lobs to Carson Templin. How about that one, Gary?
Yeah, that was it. I mean, watching Mason and Carson play together, I know they room a lot together on the road, and they're good friends. So watching their dynamic is pretty fun.
So the 2018-19 team also started their first 2 games with 100-point-plus victories. And that's the last time overall they had any back-to-back 100-point games.
So let alone 3, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they've eclipsed that now.
He's having a hard time holding on to the basketball there. It's good sign to see Davis back in the game.
Yeah, very much so. They got him a little treatment, and he's back. And a 3-pointer from the corner. And there's Tucker Anderson.
And Mason once again distributing the basketball, finding the open player.
And coming back the other way, a little too strong.
I think as a coach, it's to have a player where you can trust to make the right decisions at the right time. That's invaluable. I remember I played with the player Tyler Newbold.
Yeah, Newbold.
Yep. Led the nation in assist to turnover ratio. He would make the right decision every time. He was just a high IQ basketball player. And I see a lot of those echoes in Mason as well.
So the ball will stay here. Aggies with the turnover. They now have 4 players, Gary, that are in double-figure scoring with Martinez, Acano, Templin, and Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, that's team basketball. When you get 4 players in double figures, you're sharing the basketball, you're well-rounded and balanced. These Aggies offer a lot of talent on this offensive end.
And Davis might be getting a little more sore as he walks a little more gingerly. I think he may be done for the night.
Yeah.
I mean, why not take it easy? I'm guessing we won't see Ian Martinez still. He's going to leave with a very productive night.
Yeah, as a player and a scorer, when you start making shots like that, you don't want to sit down. You just want to see how far you can take it.
And Albury at the shot clock buzzer.
That's a tough shot. That was a truly tough shot. I love how smooth he was about it, too. His ability to get into the lane, create some contact, and just fade off that with a nice touch to finish it off.
Ooh, Albury almost had the steal. He saw that pass coming and nearly closed from across the court, and a 3 does not go. Another rebound for Fauslev. Fauslev for 3, and he got it. He rolls it in. How about 110 points for the Aggies?
Yeah, this is the basket. I mean, everyone's shooting, they're feeling good and making shots. It's much what makes basketball fun as a basketball player.
Rebound back up, and again, Aggie basketball under 4 to play. Fauslev, and Templin can't handle that. And here comes Parker Christensen, and the putback by Akena.
Yeah, Akena's built a nice
here,
game.
but yeah. All right, more bench players coming in. Jackson Smith out of Woods Cross High School here in Utah. Brayton Housley's been in the game, but he's checking back in as well. And 60-point lead. Aggies at 110 with 3.5 to play. 5 Aggies now in double figures, Gary, and one of them you got to be happy for is Mason Fauslev. His scoring wasn't quite up there the first 2 games.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing when you have blowouts like this, you tend not to be able to be in the game in a way to get into a rhythm to start putting points on the board. And as I've watched Mason in these first 2 games, I have no concerns about his scoring and his ability. It's just a matter of rotation. Tonight he got into a little bit of foul trouble, but he's still being able to put points on the board.
He's also got 3 rebounds, 5 assists, so doing a lot of things.
Yeah, he can fill up a stat sheet.
Well, the Aggies as a team are filling up a stat sheet, and here comes 2 more. And it's Albury getting to the rack.
Yeah, and I'm excited for Albury. He shows so many signs of things that are really exciting to watch. His ability to get in the lane, he finds play. Defensively, he's all over the place. He's been great to watch this year so far.
Three-pointer, that's on the way and off. Offensive board, but stripped away. And this time it's Housley with the deflection.
Yeah, Housley's come in and put in some really good minutes.
He has. Corner 3. Oh, Jackson Smith. Can't get that to fall.
Yeah, you see all of his teammates rise up over there.
Yeah, they want it, don't they?
Well, you do. I mean, these players come in, they contribute so much to the team. They grind through practice.
Barnes, steal, and layup.
And so you're excited to see when they're successful.
And now Jordy is in double figures. So Gary, 6 Aggies in double figures. He has 10.
Yeah, with 114, you could have 11 Aggies in double figures, right?
Exactly. Block shot underneath by Albury. It's going to stay here. But we're under 2 to play, and the Aggies 114 points. And starting the season with back-to-back games over the century mark. Back here in Logan, these fans are loving it. What a performance by the Aggies tonight. 114 points in this game, 6 players in double figures, and we still have a minute 45 to play.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous offensive output by these Aggies.
This is actually the 3rd time in Aggie history they've scored 100-plus points, Gary, in 3 consecutive games. But it hasn't happened since 1973, as Albury takes it to the rack and draws the foul. So the 1973 team had 3 straight. And remember, they didn't have 3-pointers then. And in the 1968, 3 straight games of over 100.
Okay.
And they didn't have 3-pointers then. So those teams, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, they're in good company, it looks like.
Yeah. But yeah, 3 straight for the Aggies going over 100.
If there's one critique I could pose for the Aggies, it's free throw shooting tonight. They haven't been able to convert quite as they had the first 2 games.
Yeah, point taken.
As he makes that one.
Last time they scored this many points, by the way, it was 129. That was 5 years ago against Eastern Oregon. They beat them 129-61. But just a heck of a start to the season with 3 straight 100-point games. That hasn't happened since the early 70s.
That's an amazing
phenomenal.
Stat. Well, the thing is they're still diving on the floor, hustling for basketballs. Right. I like watching that as an Aggie player, a former Aggie player. I wouldn't be able to hang with these guys, you know.
Oh, I think you'd be just fine. But, I mean, the game changes. We know that. But I know you would have enjoyed the NIL money.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have complained about that.
And you would have done just fine. Pass Barnes. And the throwdown. Dayton Albury with the exclamation point.
He's got that sneaky athleticism like Ian Martinez, where you just don't expect it, and all of a sudden he's above the rim.
117 points. I don't think Albury's going to get the chance, but if one more 3, he'd be the 7th Aggie in double figures as Jack Jamel hits a 3. But that should just about wrap it up as Jared Calhoun works his way to midcourt. The Aggies can just salt this one away. They're going to go to 3-0. scoring 101, 103, and 117.
That is a good first 3 games.
So actually, there is a. Okay, the clocks were slightly off, but hey, that's the ball game, and it's a big one for Jared Calhoun's team with 117 points against your former coach with 53. But your thoughts on this group as we get set to see him again on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with their level of intensity, their willingness to come out, put their body on the floor, even with 117 points on the game. That says a lot to me as a fan, as a former player, that these guys have a hunger to win and to prove that night in and night out. So that's one of my key takeaways from this game.
Ian Martinez leads with 24 points.